Make sure to follow everybody's Instagram down below and enjoy today's episode. Let's get it. All right, guys. So how was your guys' week? How's your guys' week been?
I had a good week, man. Just won Peter's League, Ball for Christ, represent. Took home a trophy.
Oh, you got a trophy?
Well, actually, I got a championship ring.
How many games did you actually play?
Yeah.
Well, I was in 2 divisions. B division, I played about 4 or 5 games. A division, I kind of gave up on that team.
Yeah.
So
What's the
We
difference between A and B?
one's more talent.
It
One's a little bit less talent.
It makes sense.
Your B's more talented.
Yeah, the B's more.
Your B is more
team-
talented.
My
B
B
team
team
is
probably
more
would have beat my A team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
because B always beats A.
Yeah.
And you just won that how long ago you won?
Last week, man. Last 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. And I messed up my back doing it. It's all right.
You're a Knicks fan?
Knicks fan, baby. We taking home the chip this year.
Wow.
Hey, it's going to be the Knicks versus OKC in the finals. That was my prediction for before the year started. I'm keeping that.
OKC is too young. I don't know if they can.
Nah, I honestly think OKC's taking it this year. I have them winning it, to be honest with you, but my prediction was Knicks versus OKC. I want to see the Knicks win, but if I'm being realistic, I think OKC's
I have faith
taking
they're
it.
gonna.
Knicks too?
Nah, I have faith they're gonna win.
Aren't you a Hornets fan?
I am not no way.
Shay's nice, yo.
Shay is nice, yeah.
Who do y'all think's front runner for MVP?
Shay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's just Shake, just because Joker's already got the last two.
I think.
Because the Joker just gets it again. It's like,
I mean, he got a better record. Shay too, so he.
Yeah, he got the better record, and I think if you put defense, when you
Oh,
add
yeah,
defense
yeah.
onto it, you look at Jokic's number, obviously offensively, he's dominating, but you got to put both sides of the floor. I think SGA's MVP.
But is he getting it because Jokic got 2 already?
that's exactly what I was
That
thinking.
might be a reason. I mean, I think he should have
That's
won
true.
when Embiid won. So, I mean, I think they didn't give it to him that year and gave it to
I agree with
Embiid.
that.
So, I don't know. It's tough.
Don't hurt about
Yeah.
it. Embiid ain't coming back. He's not coming
Embiid
back.
is not, he doesn't love basketball. You can tell.
And Paul
He just-
George too.
Yeah. They just don't.
He's a podcaster.
I was about to say, he's just a podcaster now.
He said he gonna focus on podcasting, and then he got an injury. He planned that.
He got paid, though. Make
He
good
robbed
money.
him. He robbed him.
Problem.
Sixers are a bad organization. So,
Yeah.
And now Maxey doesn't even play as much or play as good.
they wanted us, the Sixers wanted you guys to trust the process, and now look where the process got them. Nowhere.
Not everybody's like the Lakers who can just, make it work somehow.
Well, when you got LeBron James, the greatest basketball player of all time, that's what happens.
I thought that was madness. That, it for me, when I'm watching the NBA and I see how, Luka can just get taken from the Mavs with no real explanation, and then LeBron can play this game, I had no idea this was going to happen. And then everybody's like, yeah, LeBron, we know you didn't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, we know that dude knows.
Like
And
the
we
whole-
know how much control homie has.
He's a GM.
Like with the video of
Yes.
AD saying, I didn't know I was getting traded and stuff like that in the locker room.
I believe that. I didn't
Yeah.
believe LeBron knew.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
think
knows.
he didn't know. LeBron probably knew, and I'm sure LeBron has a say. I mean, people get mad about that, but it is what it is. That's the superstar of the league, man.
All right, relax with that.
It's the superstar of the league.
No,
He's
no,
not
no,
superstar of the
no.
league.
D League.
It's
40
LeBron.
years
He's
old.
the superstar.
That's what I'm saying. He's 40 years old.
And look what he's doing.
No, he's
That's great.
good numbers.
Is
He's
he
great.
the
Yeah, yeah.
superstar?
But is
So,
he the
wait,
superstar?
Wait. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
Michael Jordan.
Who you got?
We went into
I got LeBron.
LeBron, thank you. Who you got?
Man, dude. What are we talking about here? Because everybody's been very articulate with this conversation
Yeah.
the last few years. Because then we've got these commentators and these analysts that get into what's the better career and who's the better player, all this different stuff. I think LeBron's career is amazing.
Yes, yes.
I respect that, the hell out of what he's accomplished. Even though, I mean, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist here, so I think there's a little bit of some steroid use and some hormone use being used in order for us to kind of get up that hump, you know what I'm saying? Because homie is human, I think, right? So there's got to be something being done. Because homie went to Germany, and then his ankle got or his foot got better like that.
Innocent to
But that's
proven
that B
guilty.
word, though. Hold on, that's that B word. You know what that B word is? That's a billionaire. So then you start like being that type of presence with people, you can kind of get a little bit of an upper hand on like why are you playing that well that long? You know what I mean?
So I think LeBron is the greatest basketball player of all time, and I don't even think it's even close. I think honestly, see, I'm the opposite. If you want to say MJ had the better career because he won the 6 championships and all the MVPs and all that extra stuff, scoring titles, you can say that. I think LeBron, to me, by far is the greatest basketball player of all time. If you look at the generation and you look at the talent from today's NBA compared to the 90s, I don't think it's even close. I think a lot of players in the 90s wouldn't even make a roster in today. People gonna get mad I say this. Larry Bird, I know he played in the 80s, but he's not making any NBA team.
Oh, that's crazy.
And if a prime Larry Bird's not making a team in today's NBA,
That's blasphemy.
It's not even close.
You're blaspheming,
bro.
The basketball. That's crazy.
Everybody sits there and says the 90s.
You wanna get stoned?
Bro, listen. Everybody sits there and says the 90s had better defense. The game was horrible. Nobody had offense. People act like we can't go on YouTube and we can't watch a game. I literally last week went on YouTube and just put in any basketball game from the 90s. It was horrible. I was watching a Chicago Bulls game. They had 30 points in the third quarter. NBA teams now are scoring 30 points in the first quarter. This team had 30 points going in the third quarter. It was the most horrible. They're literally dribbling to the left side of the court with your right hand, missing layups, ugly fadeaway jump shots. It was horrible.
You're talking about the 90s or the 70s? What are we talking about?
All of them. All of them.
Are you serious?
It's garbage. Go back.
James,
Listen,
James, you believe everything you're saying, right? Do you believe it?
We can watch it with our eyes, bro. I would love to sit down with you and watch
So-
it.
Put it on right now.
So the Sean Kemp, Gary Payton,
They were good for their time, but if you go back and watch
LeBron's
it,
good for his time too,
look,
right?
You put if LeBron would have came before MJ, this wouldn't even be an argument.
Yo.
LeBron James now, with the skill set and the talent that he had, if you would have dropped him in the 90s, he would have averaged like 70 points a game, probably won 12 championships
How
in a
much
row.
will Michael get in this at this time?
So you think he'll score more than what he did?
Yes.
It's harder to score.
He was
in today's
scoring
NBA.
60 points like almost
It
every
was
other game.
easier then because the illegal.
How is it easier?
I think it's easier
Hold
for
on.
every player.
The
to
illegal
score now.
defense rule. Listen, no, I'm talking. It was easier to score in the 90s. There was an illegal defense rule where listen to me, Dre. If I was guarding you, and Larry had the ball, I couldn't linger off you and be in the paint waiting for Larry to drive. I had to either fully commit to a double team or I had to stay on your hip until he started driving and then try to get there. Today's game, LeBron gets the ball, KD, whoever it is, 3-4 players already lingering towards the paint. You couldn't do that in the 90s. So that
They did have illegal.
They really
offensive
gave
game.
MJ the ball on one side of the court, stacked the other side of the court, and MJ got to play one-on-one. Any NBA player is going to score going one-on-one majority of the game. So it was easy. The idea that it was easier
Kendrick
to score,
Perkins?
it's easier to score today. Bro, the numbers are up because it's just the offense is just that good.
No.
Players are just that athletic.
It's called business. They rather see offense. The fans would rather see offense. Think about football too. They have so many rules for the quarterback because they want the quarterback to always be there so then they can always score touchdowns.
You don't think the talent's better today?
Who has the leverage, the offense or the defense?
Do you think the talent's better in today's NBA? Yes or no?
Of course.
So it's more talented, right?
Yeah, because
it's better.
they just research and they discover things. You know what I mean?
Exactly, but it's better. So it's just better than what the 90s was. Is the iPhone 15 better than the iPhone 1?
Is it genuine?
The iPhone 1
Ted 1 was Ted 1 is still better than Ted 2.
That's a movie, bro.
But we're talking about the sequels of things, right?
Pretend that every generation gets better than that. LeBron's the greatest basketball player of all time, but he's not going to be in the next 10 to 15 years.
They get skillful. That doesn't mean they get better for the most part, right?
You throw Kyrie Irving in the 90s, they're going to probably think that man's doing witchcraft on the basketball court.
Kyrie's a beast.
They would have crucified him.
He's probably the greatest dribbler ever.
Kyrie, with his handles...
You think LeBron won't be the greatest player in 15 years? You think there's
I think
somebody
somebody will pass him.
in that amount of time?
I just probably 15, 20 years. I think
you're a rare LeBron lover.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Listen, the crazy thing is
man.
people think I'm obsessed with LeBron, and I promise you, I could pull Facebook posts from like 6-7 years ago of me not liking LeBron. I don't like that man.
What did the switch for you?
Because there's so much hate. I'm like, yo, this man, we're witnessing greatness, and everybody, we live in a time where social media just dictates everything. So everybody just hates on the man because he's great. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. Instead of like acknowledging, like, damn, bro, we're watching a 40-year-old man still will go out there, score 20-something points a game, still playing 35-plus minutes a game, getting 7-8 rebounds, 7-8 assists. That's crazy. That's unheard of.
It's very cute.
There's a
very
reason.
cute.
Listen, out of all the NBA, and everybody wants to talk longevity, like Kevin Garnett,
He's the best at longevity.
Kobe, didn't all play the same amount of time. Vince Carter.
Yeah.
There's one player that's in like the top 10 for 3 different major categories. LeBron James. Out of all the greatest basketball players of all time, why is there only one? Because he's the greatest, bro. It's the greatest basketball player of all time.
The scoring thing, though, LeBron played way more amount of games to get the amount of points he got than Michael did. So there's something to be said on that.
LeBron James, Michael Jordan skipped two years. Remember those 2 years?
Because he was a quitter.
Well, that's fine, and you can go into the gambling thing too. That's fine, and I'm more than open to being open to the fact that homie loved to do that. My whole thing is, you can't take away from the fact that time is of the essence when it comes to being able to stack your stats.
Yeah.
So when you play that amount of years, if due to how great he is, because I don't got no problem. I think he's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's got the top 3 careers of all time.
Yeah.
And maybe as far as career goes and what you've accomplished,
Jordan and him.
but it's hard to beat 6-0. But never mind, I won't go into that. But my whole thing is when you've got when you score a ton of points, what Michael did in that amount of time, but it took LeBron way longer amount of time to do it. The number 1 spot to me kind of goes. The value of that comes down.
But let me counter that real quick. So when you score a basket, how do you score a basket? You got to shoot the ball, right? So shot attempts. So we should be talking about shot attempts. Yeah. How many shot attempts did it take LeBron to pass MJ's record or MJ's scoring thing?
I'm sure you know.
Yeah,
1,200 less shots. That is crazy. So yeah,
1,200?
1,200 less shots. It took LeBron 1,200 less shots to pass what MJ scored. That's how you should be judging it. I understand LeBron played more. He played more games, but he doesn't shoot the same volume of shots Michael Jordan does. LeBron is the more efficient scorer. He averages more assists, more rebounds. He can play multiple positions, 1 through 5, can guard multiple positions. Everybody acts like LeBron's not a good defender because now we're looking at him while he's old. When LeBron was younger in his prime, he was a defender, bro. If you go on YouTube and type in some of the best defensive plays in NBA history, LeBron pops up on at least 10 of them.
He's athletic enough to play defense, but I don't think he's like the best.
There's a myth that Jordan's this great defender. And there's
I say he's
theories
great,
out
but he's a
there,
good
and there's
defender.
proof that backs up that MJ's stats were being padded. They were. So listen, bro.
I just saw this.
Hey, listen, can we talk real quick?
It's the
MJ
socials,
came.
bro. It's the
Can we talk?
socials.
You talking? Go ahead.
Bro,
Talk.
listen now. MJ came in the league when it was not that great. It was watered down. Right
Did
before
they have a 3-point line?
Yeah, the 3-point line.
When he came in?
the 90s, yeah, I think so.
Well, he came in the 80s.
86.
Yeah.
Or
Did they have a
84.
3-point line then?
They had a 3-point line. They had a 3-point line.
I was going to make a case back then.
So MJ wasn't shooting. MJ shoots threes worse than Russell Westbrook, but people will tell you that if he wanted to, he would shoot 40% because MJ could do no wrong.
That mid-range game, it didn't matter, bro.
The crazy thing with the MJ fans is they'll sit
His
there and
mid-range
say,
is better than
he was 6-0, 6-0. Bill Russell had 11. Oh, that don't matter. That don't count. What are we talking about? If NBA championships, if that's what means the GOAT to you guys, I'll agree with you if you tell me Bill Russell's the best. If you're not willing to say Bill Russell's the best, then don't bring up rings in this argument.
Bill Russell's the best.
Then okay, so if that's a
Bill Russell's the
requirement,
best.
then I'm cool with that.
You know the difference between those championships too, though.
Yeah, but look,
Because you just made that point earlier.
But yeah,
You
because
made
of
the point
talent.
earlier that the 70s,
Because of talent.
70s was even
Exactly.
worse. It was
But
between
that's
worse,
what I'm
right?
saying.
But then,
I'm not one
so
of
the
those.
90s is a little bit better than if we're going to talk about talent.
And
right?
I agree.
And
So
then
I
the
don't
2000s came up.
think Bill Russell's better than MJ. But what I'm saying is, if you guys are just pushing this narrative of rings, I'm sure
I'm
MJ
not
would
pushing
rather have
it.
11
I think the narrative
than
is
6.
6-0.
What's his name was 11 out of 12.
Who?
He lost once. He was in the NBA 13 years, Bill
Yeah, but his
Russell.
team was
won
like-
11 out of 12. Went
But
to
it's-
the
the
12
Celtics, right?
Yeah.
The Celtics,
They had a great team.
The Celtics were like UCLA.
They had a great
It was like
team.
nobody had a chance. It
So,
was like,
wait,
you know what I mean?
Are we gonna-
You remember when UCLA?
let's
was
not talk about teams,
Was just
John.
winning championships.
Let's see the teams that LeBron James created. He
But
created
there was
those
more
teams.
talent back then. Are we?
Wait.
Wait.
No, more
You heard
talent
that,
now.
right?
I'm saying
Did you hear that?
there's more talent now is what I'm saying. So
Okay.
of course he played with more talent. But you also went up against more talent. Are we acting like the Bulls?
did?
Wait. Are we acting,
LeBron.
LeBron played against more talent. Are we acting like he didn't?
I just don't. I think first of all, homie's like very orchestrated. So it's like I think like Michael Jordan being with the Bulls for that amount of time, and like I'm a loyalist. I love when people stay on the same team for a while. Like I used to love Damian Lillard for what he was doing and trying to do. And even he flaked on it. But my whole thing is, homie stayed with the Bulls that whole time and created a dynasty that will like. I just don't. When you think about it, I know Cleveland's gonna love LeBron forever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think like a true Laker loyalist is gonna look at him as like a Laker great.
Like the 2020 championship was fraught, was really, really less value.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it was.
To the players, it wasn't. To the players, it wasn't.
It was the bubble,
LeBron
right?
was leaving the
It was the
bubble.
bubble, right?
LeBron got to leave the bubble. That's talked about.
Okay, people are again hating on it. Everybody had a fair playing field and the same exact playing field. Everybody had it. So to sit there and act like, oh, LeBron had some extra help or some kind of advantage is crazy. Everybody had the same playing field. No fans. Everybody had to stay in a hotel. So how was it?
I think it was the most
easier?
pure ball, but it was also
Exactly.
It was fun
It was
to
just-
watch.
Everybody was
I'm not
healthy.
saying it was fun.
But it was just
There
more so
nothing else
like-
to do.
If anybody else would have won,
Nothing
if
else to
everybody
do.
else would have won, it wouldn't be a problem. But let's get back to Chicago in the 90s and the Bulls. Are we acting like the Bulls weren't stacked for what the 90s were? Are we acting like
Stacked
that?
LeBron James team?
For the 90s, yes. For what the
all right, let's compare it. No, let's put it. Let's compare it.
No,
Let's
no,
compare it.
but
He
you
was
can't
more
compare
stacked
by
than the
players because you have
Bulls
to.
were.
Because listen, you got to go what they're going against. When Jordan won his third championship right before he retired, they won the championship. They won, I believe it was 58 games. I could be wrong. It might be 57. It was 58 or 57. Jordan retired. The next year, how many games did the Bulls win? Do you know? No. It was 2 less games without Michael
they're
Jordan.
pretty good.
Now,
They're
again, Jordan pushed them over the edge. I'm not saying Jordan wasn't great. He pushed the Bulls over the edge. They won 2 less games. LeBron with the Cavaliers won 66
bring the
games.
Cavs up.
Yeah,
Bring the other teams up, too.
we're
Bring
gonna
the other
talk,
teams
bro.
up.
Bringing
But
up
check me
teams
out.
he's bringing up an organization that had been winning
Let-
3 in a
bro,
row.
let me talk though real
compared
quick.
to the Cleveland.
I understand that,
I
but
just
listen.
started, yeah, yeah.
But what I'm
Organization.
saying is, Michael Jordan was a 2-game difference when he left. LeBron won 66 games. Following year, won 61 games. He dipped. Guess how many games the Cavs won the following year? 19. All right. LeBron was a 50-game difference. A 50-game difference. MJ was a 2-game difference. MJ pushed him over the edge to get him to the finals and win the finals. But we're acting like the team wasn't stacked. That 90s team was stacked. It was stacked.
Can I ask you a question? If LeBron would have got injured with Miami Heat for the whole season, with the Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and all of them, they had Ray Allen and all those guys. How much games would they won?
Would they have been still title contenders?
Yeah, would they be title contenders?
Probably, but okay. So listen, I love.
Let's not pass
listen, wait,
that.
let's
Let's
talk
that.
then. So you guys are saying they're all superstars, right? Outside of Dwayne Wade, who won a championship without LeBron.
Chris Bosh.
Wait, what did Chris Bosh do? Go ahead and tell
On
me.
that team.
No. We're gonna
Not
talk.
by himself,
No,
on that
listen,
team.
On that team- on the team, he was definitely a superstar.
You guys said they were
outside of
superstars.
that.
I never said superstars to you, though. I never said that.
Chris Bosh,
but-
I think, made it out of the first round. I think one time before LeBron. Kevin
Together.
Love. Wait, no, we're gonna talk though, because you guys are saying these players are
What
superstars.
top 15 players
Listen,
did
let me get my point out.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade,
Let
top
him get
Check
15
me
player
out.
of all time.
But hear me out. So Chris Bosh made it out of the first round, I believe, once. Anthony Davis, I believe, got swept both times in the first round. I could be wrong on that, but I'm telling you, I think he made it out of the
What
first
team
round.
was he on?
On the Pelicans. But hear me out.
D.
But
Wade
you're
had a
telling me
ship before.
Kevin Love. You guys said Kevin Love. You guys are saying these players are superstars LeBron's playing with. Kevin Love, the Timberwolves were the worst team in the league until Kevin Love went to go play with LeBron. Kyrie was a bottom feeder until LeBron went back to the thing. So you guys are saying these players are superstars. What did they do outside of Dwayne Wade? What did any of these players do without LeBron? They didn't do anything. You guys are just talking craziness. LeBron brought these guys championships, bro. What did these other players do without LeBron
He
James?
didn't bring Dwayne Wade a
No,
championship.
Dwayne Wade was
He
the
said- yeah,
only
he
one I
said
said.
besides him.
Dwayne Wade was the
But-
only one to win a championship on his own.
What person that was playing with the Bulls had a championship before they won one?
When did Jordan get one without Pippen? What was?
No.
People
That's
love
not what
to-
I asked.
But no,
That's not what I asked.
He's like, that's
I
not
asked
what-
you a question. What
Answer.
What player before the Bulls started doing their thing? What guy on that squad was really out there like that? Like was like on legend status?
There was
because
no-
Dwayne Wade had already been on legend status when he came to the Heat.
Dwayne Wade was not
That's why they
legend
were
status.
so
He was-
confident saying not one,
He was not legend
not
status?
two,
Legend
not
status, bro,
three,
he was in the
not
like,
four,
bro.
not five. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Because that
You said
wasn't.
that.
It was just
So
two.
again, we all like to listen. We all love to
Which
believe
is
that
crazy.
Michael Jordan played 6 years. But honestly, I'm sorry to tell you guys, he played more than 6 seasons. What did Michael Jordan do? What did Michael Jordan do? No, hear me out. What did Michael Jordan do before Pippen got there? Explain to me. He never even had a winning record.
The same thing LeBron was doing.
Same thing LeBron was
No,
doing.
he was
LeBron a while.
Bro, he was carrying that team to the playoffs at
And he
least.
lost 0-4.
MJ made the playoffs with
And Tim
losing
Duncan was
records
like,
and got
good luck,
swept.
look.
You know what his record is in his first 10 games of playoffs? Michael Jordan's 1-9. He was getting his
Okay.
he's getting,
That's true. That's
getting his
true.
ass kicked.
But
handed.
he was making the playoffs.
You know when he started winning? When Magic Johnson
Who
got
made the
HIV
playoffs sooner?
and all these things. He beat the Lakers with and Magic Johnson who had HIV. James Worthy was injured. He beat that team. Who else he played? Oh, Utah. Karl Malone and John
They're not good?
Stockton. No,
Man, oh man.
bro,
Karl Malone and John
This
Stockton
guy-
is
yo.
that good?
the '90s is overrated,
Oh
bro.
my
I like
God.
People hate.
You know
Listen,
what?
I hate saying this because I sound crazy, but Michael Jordan's the
You
most
are.
overrated basketball player of all time.
Yo, that's
the
crazy.
most overrated
You
basketball
mean
player
that
of all
guy
time.
right there?
The
That
most
guy-
overrated. He
Wait.
dominated the '90s. The '90s, bro.
He went to
trash.
2000s too.
Half the damn players
Played at around
Let us
30,
know. Let us
38
know in the
years old.
comments
And
if you agree.
He's trash.
He played good for the Wizards.
Didn't he average like 18 or 19
He,
as a
he averaged
40-year-old?
18.
I think he averaged
But
20
he didn't
and
get the
shot
same
like 30-something
steroids
percent.
as
He
LeBron
sucks.
did, bro.
Trash.
He didn't get the same growth
Oh my
hormones
God. Where's
as
the proof, bro? This LeBron.
The
just
same
takes-
doctors,
listen,
you didn't get all that.
Facts.
Bro, you guys are hating on LeBron
do the
because
drug
he
test
took money
specifically.
and invested it into his body and his health.
Oh, he does that too.
He does do that.
Yeah,
but that's
and that's
not
a part
our
of
fault
it.
that Michael Jordan didn't want to do that. He wanted to smoke cigars and gamble his life away.
Yeah, the '90s, bro, is tough.
Yeah,
not-
and
not-
Gamble's
a
life
different
away.
time, bro.
It's a
It's-
different time,
shit.
but
We didn't have the
LeBron took care of
advancements.
himself, and that's part of the reason why he's
And
the greatest.
LeBron makes a
Longevity
lot of
is a big
people
part.
money.
Oh yeah, longevity is good.
LeBron makes a lot of people money the longer he keeps playing.
Yeah.
So it's like for an example, I remember he was in an interview and he was like, I think I got a couple more years left. I was like, man, this guy loves this. Like, because he's gonna play.
'Cause he
I
wants a
guarantee
farewell.
you,
He could play
homie's
till
gonna
45.
homie's gonna play 5 more years, maybe 6, because he wants that record and all of these things to just keep going. Because the longer he plays, the less that people can keep up. Like
nobody-
if he keeps scoring at the rate which
it's impressive. It is
Yeah, it's
impressive.
impressive.
Okay, and I respect. The career is amazing. Every time I see, I don't even watch NBA games, but when I see a Laker highlight, I watch it because I want to appreciate. I'm not going to be able to see this guy play for much longer.
Facts.
So
Yeah,
if
true.
he's
going to, the longer he plays, those records are going to last forever. That's why I was like surprised at what you said about 15 years from now. You think a dude's just going to. Victor Wembanyama is the only person
That's
that I
close.
think has like superpower, superstar
Yeah.
status. Because, I mean, like, what other dudes right now can like even come close to the alien-like stuff he does? It's, like, it's actually kind of wild to watch.
Yeah,
him
yeah,
play.
yeah. How he play.
But that's why I say every generation is better than the next. I think here in the next 20, 30 years, maybe it might take longer. I think a bunch of the NBA will be like Wemby.
Yeah.
You're going to be looking at a bunch of 6'10" guards that could
Yeah.
dribble, shoot,
Yeah.
super athletic. That's just what
would be crazy.
the game's evolving to.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Every generation's better than the previous one. People who say MJ's the best, it's annoying because people think nobody could do anything to pass him. I'm telling you LeBron's the greatest, and I'm also telling you somebody's going to
So,
pass him.
is
That's
he the
how life
original
works.
GOAT?
So-
Can you say that?
Is he the original GOAT? I mean,
Is he the OG GOAT?
How far,
I said, how far back?
It depends how
You
far
can-
back you go, because some people say
Is he the
Kareem.
original GOAT though? Would you rather be
When
a
everybody says
GOAT
GOAT,
or
what's-
an original GOAT?
He ain't no GOAT. I don't know what
Wow.
you're talking about.
What does that mean?
I think he was the GOAT for the
What
90s.
does that statement
I'll sit there and
mean,
say
yo?
he was the best for the 90s. But
GOAT for the
to
so
sit
the
there-
original like GOAT conversation.
There's all
he's
these,
the original.
all these narratives that will sit there, that they all bash LeBron. He's
So
not
he's
the
got a
GOAT.
lot of lovers, bro.
They sit there and say, oh, he called himself the GOAT. The GOAT don't need to call himself. There's an interview of MJ calling himself the best ever.
What
But people
what
act like
tattoo
this
is on the
doesn't
back
exist.
of LeBron's back?
It does say, wasn't it the greatest?
The chosen one.
The
chosen
chosen
one,
one. He was
chosen one,
chosen. He didn't choose himself. He was
But
chosen.
that's-
So, wait, hold on one
talking
second.
about just like
Hey, we got
the
five
ego
more
of it.
minutes on this topic.
Okay.
But who had the most pressure?
Okay.
Who had the most pressure on him coming out of high school? He didn't annoy himself. People did. He came in as
You could chalk it up-
17, 18 years old, dominating the league, bro.
You could chalk that up to like a very interesting marketing time for basketball, though, high school basketball.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think, honestly, though, the reason I don't think we'll ever see a situation like a LeBron type situation is because due to how good dudes are getting, kind of the like point you made, how skilled guys are getting, I think that there's just a less of an isolation of people. So like everybody's like very skilled, and so like there might be like a top tier class of dudes, but there won't be like one. I don't feel like there's like MJ was the one.
Yeah.
LeBron in all his glory at one point was the one, but the OG one is the guy
But
that's
MJ was
You know
the
what I'm saying?
one because that's just like before MJ won his first 3 rings, the league was watered down because they had an expansion of 3 teams. Right before he won another 3-peat, they added 3 more teams, which waters down the league because now the free agents are going across the board to more teams, while the teams that were already in place and had their players under contract get to keep their team. So the league is watered down. We pretend that don't exist, but go look it up. Right before he won his first 3, they added 3 teams in the league, and right before he won the last 3, they added 3 more teams. That matters because let's just say, for instance, let's say this next year, Knicks are going to free agent with the most money to spend, and then boom, they add 3 more teams. Now they get pick of whatever free agent they want. But if you already have your team set, you're good. Now the Knicks, if I had the most money to spend, but they added 3 more teams that have money to spend now too.
Yeah.
Now all those free agents are getting split up across all of us. Your team's already set in place. You already have LeBron signed. You already got Luka signed a contract and all these other players. You're good. That's what the Bulls had. They had their team set in place. They added these other teams that watered down the league. It watered down the league, bro.
They kept the teams
That's
that
how
were
it
winning.
works. But the Bulls were stacked for what the 90s was. The Bulls were stacked. LeBron's played with more talent, but he's also played against more talent. That's because the league is more talented. Half the players wouldn't make
I'm
a
confused.
dang team, bro.
I'm very confused.
I mean,
confused about?
I mean, I get the whole point of like growing. There's some dudes that when I watched '90s basketball, homies would not be in the league right now.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
agree,
like it's
I
not.
agree.
It's, I mean, like it was a much more
But-
like hustle, like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, it's-
play that type
But
of
also,
way.
I watch the league now, and there's some guys that say they shouldn't be there either as well.
No, absolutely,
Jeez, who?
absolutely.
Huh?
No,
Who?
Let's look on the bench. Look
no,
on the bench. Look on any bench.
Bronny. No, I'm just joking.
He's
Bro,
getting better and better and better.
The crazy thing is,
Yeah,
you throw
anybody-
Bronny in the 90s, is probably
playing in
an
the G
all-star.
League and then come back every time.
Like-
You throw Bronny in the 90s, he's probably an all-star. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like, you throw Jimmy Butler.
see that.
Listen,
I mean-
I think if you put
I thought you were crazy,
Listen,
but I think you're nuts.
if you put MJ,
I think you're nuts.
You put MJ in today's basketball, he's like Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan type
you
of
don't
player.
think-
That's what he
Hey,
is.
hold on.
That's what he's.
So
He'll
you-
score 20
I
plus
don't know.
points, but his field goal percentage is going to be low 40s.
You don't think dudes would
42%.
adapt based on who they're playing?
So-
like if a like okay,
Adjust.
like let's say
Like,
an-
especially like Michael Jordan.
a '90s dude is like somehow taken and transferred to the like our time now. He wouldn't somehow adjust to that.
Yeah.
To what he's seeing.
I mean, he might be able
because
to,
of
but
like
the problem
being
is-
a professional. Like you know what I mean?
You can't say. I mean, we don't know that.
Yeah, we
we
know.
We know what today's
And we-
players
So that's
are.
why it's like
Hold on.
comparing
And
time.
we don't know if
It's
LeBron
harder.
James could do what he did over there, like adjust to how they play.
But
Remember,
my-
they
my-
play differently,
okay,
right?
but my thing is,
Right?
you guys sit there and say, a lot of people say,
You never
Le-
answered me. You just say
a lot of people say that LeBron wouldn't last in the 90s. I'm going to your point because
Okay.
of physicality. The man's 6'8", 250.
He would last.
You're telling me Jeff Hornacek and Steve Kerr, these skinny little white boys, can body and play physical in the 90s, but LeBron couldn't? LeBron would run
hold
through
on.
all these guys.
I would beg to differ if he plays the Pistons.
Okay, what? So Jordan's physical enough, but LeBron
With the
would be
Isaiah
LeBron's
Thomas
bigger,
and all these
stronger.
guys. It ain't about toughness. They just hit
So,
you with an elbow and
yeah,
they call it a day.
and
They was
Jordan-
doing elbows back then like crazy.
And MJ went crying to the
Did you see
commissioner.
the technical
He went
fouls back
crying.
then?
Everybody lives in this world that MJ didn't cry. He never cried.
LeBron
complained.
James don't cry?
Yeah, he does. But
This
I'm
guy
saying
takes
is,
4 steps every time he
but
done.
what I'm
He
saying
loves
is,
that
people say
victim
MJ
hat.
don't cry.
He loves that.
They changed the rules for MJ because he went crying like a little baby to the commissioner because he was getting bullied. Everybody says they play
Yeah, because
good.
dudes wanted to win.
So did they play
They was
good?
beating them
so
up.
wait,
They were
did-
trying to win. They
Did they-
couldn't stop him.
Did they play good defense in the 90s, or they couldn't play defense, so they just fouled the crap out of you? Because fouling the crap out of somebody is not playing good defense. They
No,
did
it's
not
not.
play good defense in the 90s. Watch the game. But I promise you that if you spent a week and just watch one game a day from the 90s,
But
I
if-
guarantee
but if
you-
Bros
is
getting
Gary,
fouled
so
like
is
that-
Gary Payton a good defender?
I
Right
watched
now,
a lot
what
of
do you mean?
90s basketball.
No, no,
during
no.
COVID,
If
bro.
Gary Payton played right now with
he's getting cooked.
Gary Payton is getting
So
cooked.
Stephen Curry's not cooking him?
Gary Payton played in the 2000s. You know that, right?
Westbrook's not cooking
Hold
him?
on,
Yeah, early
Gary
2000s.
Payton played for the Heat.
Yeah.
And played really good defense at his
Early-
age, right?
early.
I think Gary
So
Payton
you're
could lock up
so
Westbrook
you're telling me
pretty
the glove
easily,
can't
actually.
lock up somebody right
Not
now?
easily, but like
Where do you guys rank?
Gary
We're
Payton?
not going to agree on
Defense?
this, but let's talk about Westbrook. Let's get to Westbrook because Westbrook gets a lot of hate too. Where y'all rank Westbrook around amongst point guards?
Like of right now, of today.
No, I'm talking about ever. I think he's a top 5
I don't
point
know
guard of all
about ever
time.
right now.
As ever, I think
So,
like top 10.
The crazy thing is, again,
Top 5 point guard.
of all time, easily. the
I
man
don't
averaged a
know if
triple double for like what 4 seasons in a row.
That's
There's a-
cute, but no, I'm
That's
saying
cute.
like.
So nobody again.
I'm looking at
He's gotta
overall.
win.
I'm not looking at triple doubles only overall because Magic Johnson's probably.
Yeah, I got Magic Johnson, Steph Curry. I got, like I said, maybe Isaiah Thomas. I got Westbrook up in there. We talk about John Stockton. He's an all-time
Man,
assist
man.
leader, but I'm not a
that's
fan of John
quite
Stockton. I
combos.
think he just.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm putting John Stockton in there.
I'm not.
I'm putting John Stockton in
Throw
there.
the ball.
See, I'm a younger guy. I put number 1 Steph.
so you don't have like a real respect for the ones that started things.
Not that I don't have a
like
respect.
the
I
reason
think-
the PG
so I
position
think-
has morphed into what it was. Like for example, like a point guard, John Stockton
So-
being like an OG Steve Nash, like
They-
you know what I'm saying, like that's why Steve Nash might be Steve Nash, is
Facts.
because there was a John Stockton.
but-
so it's like It's like, how do you?
So here's
you
the
don't
thing.
like those people?
No. So they pay.
Just 'cause they're
Listen,
from the 90s.
I got respect for them. They paved the way. But when you start saying they're better than players in today's game, that's when I draw the line, bro. Like
They're washed,
it's the
bro,
same
that's
thing.
what
The
I'm
iPhone
Yeah.
1 paved the way for iPhones, right? But it's not the best iPhone ever. It is not better than
Yo,
today's iPhone.
Larry, you know what I realized?
next iPhone-
They do this in every kind of category in terms of like anything. Like it's like, oh, if a rapper raps right now and then when he don't rap for a long time, you're like he'll be
done,
washed by
yeah.
this time. You know what I mean? Like it's like every time somebody's not like on the high horse or they like doing their thing, it's like you forget about it.
But it's not that we.
They were saying, oh, what about Steve Francis? Have you seen how Steve Francis played back then?
Yeah, but
We'd be forgetting about these guys. They were showing the guy. What's the guy that they said is like Curry back in the day that was shooting shots? He had Tourette's and stuff, but they kicked him out the league because he was Muslim. That's
don't
why.
know what you're talking about, bro.
You don't know about him?
Not even he knows.
Abdul Rahim. I think his name Abdul something or whatever. You never.
You know why we forget about them? Because how talented today's NBA is.
No.
That's why we forget about the players you're talking about. Because
Now you're in my.
I know
now
Steve
you're in my
Francis,
zone.
and Steve Francis was
Social media
nice.
changed everything, bro. Imagine if Michael Jordan was
Such a
in this
different
era
time,
in social media playing basketball.
Listen,
He'll be hot.
The reason why
He'll be
we
near with LeBron James.
The
I'm
reason
be
why
honest
we
with you.
consider MJ the best is because you were brainwashed to believe he was the best. MJ
I was
came,
not brainwashed.
Listen, MJ came in the league when the league needed a face of they needed a face for the league. He was in every commercial, Gatorade commercial, Nike commercial. He had the Air Jordan going. You go ask somebody that's never watched basketball in their life who's the greatest basketball player of all time. 9 out of 10 times they're going to tell you MJ, which proves my point. They're brainwashed.
A lot of them say
were
LeBron James
you
and
were
Paul
told
George.
your
LeBron didn't
whole
get that same
life.
treatment?
You were told no. He didn't get.
What?
Bro, LeBron gets more hate than anybody.
Cow, bro. Hold on.
Bro, the
crazy.
media
He gets more
talks
hate and
so
more
much-
love,
No, he
too.
was literally
so much
More
trash.
love and more hate.
The
James,
media talks
he
so much
was-
trash. They get mad.
The media.
The media. But that's
But
what
most
I'm saying.
kids that I talk to say they love LeBron James. That's what I'm
Listen,
trying. Where you
they
getting
know,
this from?
but
They
The
literally
media.
make songs
kids.
about
He
this
said kids.
man on TikTok.
Adults.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
they
swear
do.
that's
It's
good.
how-
But listen,
James,
Does MJ get that
James,
treatment?
media don't like him.
Listen.
But regular people love
but
LeBron
here's-
James. What are you talking
But here's
about?
the narrative again. LeBron can go out there, score 40 points, right, and they lose
Cute.
by 2. But let's say he drove to the lane and passed it to a wide open man. The narrative
He's a
is
different
why
type
did
player.
he score 42
He's a
to
different
win
type
the
of
game?
player. He's a different
But
type of
what
player.
I'm saying is the narrative is always why didn't LeBron do more when he loses? MJ would have a bad game and they would still praise that man.
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
media.
lie to you. That first championship with Miami Heat, he should have did more.
Yes, sir.
He was the frozen one. I'm gonna be honest. with
Frozen
you.
one. He's
He
the
didn't really
greatest
do
basketball
nothing.
player of all time.
Well, what
bro.
happened
It's
there?
never
What
close.
happened there?
So
what happened there?
So first off, can we all agree you guys play basketball? Chemistry matters and also fit matters. Can you agree with that?
I agree.
You can't just throw a bunch of superstars or a bunch of players on a team and expect them to win.
LeBron can do it.
Look at the
He loves that.
He loves that. Hey,
So-
give me Anthony Davis.
So look at,
I mean,
look
the
at the
pizza real
you,
quick.
team,
huh?
team
I'm
USA.
a billionaire.
I'm a billionaire.
Team USA when they got bronze, easily by far had the best talent in the world. Why
Yeah.
can't they win? Because it doesn't work that way. You don't just throw a bunch of players on a team and think that it works. You have to build chemistry. Can we sit there and honestly say LeBron and D Wade was actually a great fit?
They won 2
No,
championships.
they won 2, but are they a great fit together? I'm saying
They won 2
both-
championships. The
but-
result.
Like
I'm looking at the
personality-wise, you
results.
talking
They
about?
won
They won 2
2.
championships.
But what I'm saying is, it wasn't a great fit. They still won 2 based off of how talented they were. But it wasn't the greatest fit. I think Dwayne Wade is 10 times, 100 times better than Klay Thompson. But I think if you put Klay Thompson on that spot, he fits better with LeBron James. And now the fit is better. And then also,
Kind of like Jimmy to the Warriors.
can we agree though too? Is like, listen, when you sign 3 max players, you limit on what you can get in the rest of your roster. Also, when you sign 3 max players, guess what happens? One of them becomes a role player because 3 people cannot average 25
You know how
points a
LeBron James
game.
wins,
Yeah,
right?
facts.
The reason why
By
Klay
dominating.
Thompson.
By dominating.
No, what he does is this: put all shooters around him and then
That's
call
what
it a
you
day.
need to do. Yeah, I agree
No,
with you.
for him, that's why D Wade doesn't match what you were saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he does.
So, but what I'm saying is it wasn't the greatest fit. But what I'm also saying is so they signed 3 players to 3 max deals: LeBron, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. They had limited money on what they could fill the roster with.
You're supposed
they
to be
had
mellow.
average players. They wouldn't have the
No,
outside
no.
of 3. They
Chalmers is solid, bro.
Are you telling me
why
Chalmers
was
is not good?
Why was he out the league so quick?
Norris Cole's a
Jay-
good
why
guard.
were they out
You
the
think
league?
James
Wait,
Posey was a
ball
bum?
Wait. Why were they
Was
out
James
the
Posey a
eventually-
bum?
Mario Chalmers
Eventually,
and
Ray Allen and
Cole-
And then
all
Ray
these
Allen,
guys.
but Ray
Shane
Allen was-
Battier.
they were
Come
old.
on, stop playing.
No, Shane
But see,
Battier
you guys are
is
saying
like you
names.
talk about winning
Shane
championships.
Battier was a good
LeBron
player,
James
but,
said this. He
when
said
we
that
act
he
like-
hated Shane Battier when he played against him. Once he got on the team, he said, "We winning."
Okay, you know what Shane Battier
Is he
said?
that good? He's that good,
You
right?
know what Shane Battier said?
What?
The most impressive did LeBron James win. The most impressive thing LeBron James did
What?
was win a championship with Shane Battier as a starting in the lineup. That's what Shane Battier said.
Okay.
I
have
so
a
he's
yes or no
talking trash
question.
about himself. But what I'm saying is,
After
listen,
this yes or no
James,
question,
James, I have a
move
yes
on.
or no question.
Yes.
Has LeBron, because he's not done, right? Has LeBron played with more all-time greats than Michael did?
So we're not even at the end of these
All-Star-
plays.
look at the All-Stars.
But yes, it's going to be by the time.
Well, no, now.
No.
Like,
now.
actually,
Even-
5 years ago.
Like
I mean, he probably did.
I
Like,
think he's played with more greats. Yeah.
and he still hasn't gotten
he's
what?
played
And he
against
still hasn't
more
gotten
greats,
what?
though.
But he still hasn't gotten what?
As much championships.
And my whole thing is, like, when it comes to, here's the thing about it. Do you feel like he's a winner?
Easily.
Okay. So, and I know you're going to say the 90s, but, like, you know,
Trash.
but you stay with less all-time greats, dudes that are also, like, what you would say not as good. Right?
The whole 90s was not that good.
Yeah,
That's what made
but-
it
but-
made teams even.
But that's not Michael Jordan's fault, right? So then we go a little fast forward, and LeBron's played with an intensely, not just a little bit, an intensely amount of more all-star caliber, all-time great players, probably like quite a few in the top 50, if not even top 25. And my whole thing is, homie's still sitting there with 4, and he knows he has to get 6. By the way. And I think you know that too.
Yeah.
You
does.
do.
First off,
you
you
know
do.
that.
does.
You know it.
First off,
He's got to get 6, bro.
LeBron definitely know that too.
When we're
you do.
comparing when you're talking about championships, that's a team accomplishment. MJ didn't win 6.
Oh,
The
no.
Bulls won 6.
He looks at. I guarantee you, he in his.
LeBron's
brain-
looking at
That's
championships.
why he got
Listen,
Luka.
But
For sure.
everybody plays the
100%.
game to win. Everybody does.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, yes, LeBron played with more talent, but he's played up against more talent. Every team that LeBron went up against would have dominated any team that Jordan went up against.
How you know that? We don't know. We don't know. Do we know? Do we know?
Here's the thing.
No. Answer my
yes,
question.
It's more talented.
No. So you know for sure that he will dominate everybody in the
An eye
90s.
test.
Carrie Payton, Sean Kemp,
An eye test
Karl
tells me
Malone,
that.
John Stockton.
Yes.
You know for sure that he could beat them.
If we're talking about
Charles Barkley.
we're talking about President LeBron James and just dropping him in the 90s.
Gotta move on, guys.
That was good. Man.
That was
LeBron's the
good.
greatest of all time. Just don't let
You don't know
A
for
lot
sure.
of NBA talk. A lot of NBA talk. That's what we're here
So
for.
what if?
So now I wanted to talk about something that's been cooking up for the new era, and it is the NEO coming to fruition. We finally found our gym, and yeah, a lot of businesses that are going to be attached to it. Trying to make things different when it comes to the men's league scene. We're going to try to do live commentary, live games, pick in a draft, live combine, and yeah, stuff like that.
I think it's going to be a big time league because I think first of all, our community, like our area, is lacking
Facts.
in a lot of
Huge.
different ways when it comes to like opportunities for young men or even dudes in their 40s or 50s to be able to like do something. And I think that like what helps create a healthy culture in a community is like people being able to do things.
Yes.
And I think that the last like 3 or 4 years, we have like hit this like constant speed bump of getting like things going just
Yep.
because of storms.
Yeah.
The fiasco in 2020.
Yep.
And my whole thing is the fact that you're bringing a whole different, like, not just a league, but a different, like, vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, you guys are going to do such a good job of, like, with the content and the things like that to make it just like, feel like whoever's a part of it is really a part of it.
Facts.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, with leagues that I've been a part of or I've played in the past, it's like you play in it, and then when you're out of it, like, you don't have no attachment to it unless you're actually there.
Yeah.
And I think the cool thing about this part is, and with social media in general, is that you can stay attached to something throughout the week, even though you have a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can stay attached to something that you love and you're passionate about, and because of the people that are running it care about it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people that run leagues, they're just doing it just to get through it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just they have to do it. And I think that this is a cool vibe to it.
What I like about this league too is that you're going to be doing a live draft. So now, most leagues, you sign up as a team, and you kind of have an idea who's going to win it all. You kind of look at the roster, and you say, all right, this team stacked that team.
Team
And
aware.
there might be 1 or 2 teams that you kind of have a
One will
feeling
be
to
the
have a
90s,
chance.
one will be the
You know what I'm
2000s.
saying?
Yeah,
One
yeah.
team will have like LeBron James, and another
One
one might
will
have
Mike
Jordan.
Jordan.
That's not going to win.
Ah,
But
Jordan did it. Well, he did that.
So that's a cool aspect to the league, that you get to draft a team. Now you don't know what's going to happen, and also it's just players are going to have to be able to adapt. You might get drafted on a team that you might not be cool with the other guy, or you might play the same role, the same position. So you're going to have to see players adapting. So I like that. And I just liked how it almost gives off like a fantasy league type of feel, that
Yeah,
you're going
sure.
in and
Yep.
you're drafting and you're doing all that. I love playing fantasy basketball and fantasy football, and I do all that. So like, I think that's going to be dope to see. I'm definitely want to be a GM, so I just want to draft the team.
I also want
You
to
heard
be a
that first?
GM. He had to tell me the price later on.
No, I already told you the price.
He didn't tell me the price.
It is
lying.
for the first package. It's only going to be $450. You get so many
yeah.
media collaborations
Okay.
linked up to it, and then to include the jerseys, it is going to be $600.
We're gonna, me and Dre are gonna go half on the team.
Which is crazy.
That's $150 for 9 jerseys. Is
Yeah, it's not bad,
absolutely
it's not
insane.
bad.
Like in a sense of like that's like unbelievable value. Like I was looking at that, I was like, wow, that's like really
It's
nice.
insane.
How many teams
but
again? You
thanks,
said how many teams?
only 8 teams. We're only going to have a max of 64 players
Okay, gotcha.
just for these
All right.
teams.
See, that's the part too. I bet you're about to say this. It's like that creates a more competitive situation.
Yes.
For sure.
Because you're not like, I mean, I went to Sarasota the other day, whooped the team by 45. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to be in a competitive setting, and if you're making a commitment to something, the way that this is set up, you now almost have like because dudes got picked, you're going to go up against dudes that can hoop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's also like don't be scared to complain. Some dudes might be scared. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be fun to see some people's ego too that think maybe they're first round draft
Oh,
pick
yeah.
and they get drafted in the second or third round and they get
Yep.
passed on. It's gonna be a
Eagles gonna be ruined. They're gonna be
motivated.
ruined.
They're gonna be
It's gonna
motivated.
motivate
How
some
many?
people,
How many
but,
games?
It's going to be an 11-week season, including the playoffs.
Nice.
Okay,
Well,
6-game regular season.
this year, I'm taking my talents to the GM, so I'm not playing. I'm just gonna be the GM. I'm gonna show you guys my GM skills, and I'm gonna draft a
But
good
back
roster.
to what Larry was saying. You don't want to go to a league.
Just cut me off.
No. Keep doing what you're doing.
I'm just joking.
Keep doing. Yeah. I love it.
What Larry said, you don't want to go to a league and literally just go drive and beat a team by 40.
That's why.
And there's literally no point.
Or
You
just
would-
not know what you're getting into.
yeah,
always
literally
said
going because the opposite team probably thought they were gonna, be in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just got
I've
killed.
always said that I like being on a team. I never like overstacking my team. I like being a team that we have to fight and play together to win. Like I'm not saying I'd rather lose, but I'd rather it be a 5-point game than for us to go out there and win by 40 or 30 because then it just becomes a layup line. The other team quits, just throwing the ball up the court. It's
Yeah.
not fun. So I think this will be very competitive and it'll be fun to see.
And the fact that it's going to be at Northport High School on that court is the absolute
Fact,
most
yeah.
amazing blessing. Shout out to Coach Curtis Tillman.
Curtis,
This league is in collaboration with Powefulmind, Virgo Vision, New Era, and Northport Women's Basketball.
And I think that like you want to play on that gym, on that floor, man.
Bright lights.
Like it's
bro.
like, and I mean, not
Push
many,
on high.
not many high schools like have leagues like that in the gym.
no.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just like, I mean, it definitely don't go on in Inglewood. It definitely doesn't go on at PC or Charlotte as of now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Hopefully, it starts something because I think that I don't know, man. I played in a high school gym, especially the one that I graduated it from.
Yeah.
Facts.
Is like is a special thing that you don't always think you're gonna get to do again.
Yeah.
And I know that like there's gonna be dudes that played at Northport High School that are gonna play in this league. I know they're gonna appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a nice floor too, man. You're not playing at some rec center. You're playing at a one
And just
floor.
and just the way the bleachers are set up, just for the fans and all that, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll bring like a family vibe out too.
Yeah,
Like, people can
for
bring their
sure.
kids out and stuff like that. So
There's gonna be good food.
Good food.
Yeah.
Possibly, as of right now, possibly, but we will
What do
have
you
a
mean
concession
possibly?
stand.
You gotta have good food.
Possibly.
I mean, is gonna be food there or not? That's the question.
You're gonna be the one serving it.
Yeah, you're gonna be the one serving it, I
I
guess.
don't mind. I could be a GM and I could be a server. It don't matter.
But as of now, our live commentary cast is gonna be James, Dre, and then also he's on our Powerful Mind podcast. It's gonna be Jostin Supreme.
oh,
So it's gonna be you three.
Oh, like I said
Newsflash.
before,
I
man.
didn't-
Start- starting up-
I
starting
didn't-
up the trouble.
I'll slide you some like how LeBron does, with the media. You talking about the media part, and I was thinking to myself, there's a lot of dudes that are on that man's like budget book somehow. I think you know what I'm saying. So it's like you could play that part now. For me, I'll help you out.
You're
You
lucky,
talk
man.
good about me,
You're
positive.
Lucky, you're lucky I wasn't an announcer for this last league, man. Larry passes the ball to Gio. Gio back to Larry. Larry back to
Yo,
Gio.
we heard that in the group
Gio
chat.
drives to the lane.
Yo,
Kicks it back to Larry.
We
Larry
heard that
for
in the group
threes.
chat.
as long as they score.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
So just I talk a lot of trash, man. So hopefully people don't get offended. I like to joke around,
that's
play
good
around.
stuff,
So
Yeah, don't
can't
worry.
wait to be an announcer, man. Like I'm, hey, I'm just letting people know, man. I talk a lot.
No, don't apologize.
Talk a lot of caca. So
Hey, it is what it is. It's not gonna be entertaining if you don't.
exactly.
Yeah, so we
And it's
gotta
the
do
first of its kind.
Better
First
not
of
miss.
its kind,
man.
Better not miss layups.
The NEL.
the NEL. It's gonna bring entertainment to this city because this city don't really have much. So this is definitely gonna be some bright light thing for everybody. This could blow. It could blow up. It's definitely gonna blow up.
When me and my wife started bringing up the idea, like in our heads and stuff like that, we just wanted more leagues in the area for sure. And then like how to make it different, boom, we just started pulling out bullet points and stuff like that, and came up with the draft. And hopefully this
It's a dope idea, man.
comes soon to fruition for real.
No, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about it the whole time. Like, can't wait for May 24th.
Yeah, and I'm over here telling other owners and stuff like that, and a lot of people are buying in, so it's gonna be lit. And that is a wrap for our first episode of A Powerful New Era. This is our Powerful New Era crew.
James Marone Cabrera.
Larry Taylor.
Ishmael Ortiz.
Dre Coleman.
And we are out. Peace.